Well, the Employment and Regulatory Affairs Committee is really just taking shape to a great degree. It was just formed by the Speaker of the House, and I think to a great degree because jobs are so important as it relates to the state of Arizona currently. So I suspect I'll be dealing with possibly some jobs legislation, and obviously dealing with a lot to do with the overall regulatory affairs relative to employment, and there's probably areas dealing with employment, not compensation, but employment liability issues and things of that nature. Well, probably there was a jobs bill in the last legislature that didn't make it all the way through, but that's possibly another, I know it's been an important issue for the Speaker and then also for the Republican caucus to make sure that we get a handle on a jobs package, so to speak, to help propel the state out of the unemployment doldrums that we're in currently. And then I would figure that just over the last week or so that we might also I might have the opportunity also through regulatory side to be looking at some of the pension system issues as well in the state that nail people. No, it's not necessarily what I'd like to see come out of it. It's ultimately, I would hope that there's more than one of anything in certain respects, because sometimes you get some pretty challenging diversity between pieces of legislation that make one good piece of legislation. So I'm not going with any preconceived notions as to where we need to be or how to get there. Just so I know that we need to get somewhere. The votes haven't even been finally counted. They've stopped counting, but the canvass hasn't been done, and that'll be done by the end of this week. So by the 29th, all new members will be able to start dropping legislation and start crafting and creating through their ideas that they've had as they've been on the campaign trail. I don't know if anything's easy. I mean, there are 60 in the House of divergent opinions regardless of what party you're in. And, you know, it's all a matter of opportunity. People go down there really wanting to do the best they possibly can for the state. You always have to recognize that. And sometimes in that you get some fairly decent products, and sometimes you get some spoofs, so to speak. But those are important to those members as well. So on balance, we've got a lot of work to do, and hopefully a lot of creativity. We briefly met the day after the election to obviously form through the caucus leadership, and I think we got some pretty talented people. And we got a lot of people that just want to get the job done and do it right. And, you know, you could speak to previous history. I mean, I served in the legislature for 8 years prior to this, and 6 of it in the leadership position. So hopefully the Speaker has tapped me for a job that I think I can. This is going to be with us for several years. I don't think anybody has any idea of the magnitude of the problem. It's huge, and a $1.7 billion deficit and every day climbing. That's an enormous task in a budget that's already been cut, and you know, maybe we have to look at anything and everything that's innovative and creative. No, I just, you know, my main concern is now that we've got a major majority, is that we behave the way the public believes we should behave, and we just don't do things because we can. And you saw that happen in Congress with the Democrats when they had both houses. And I don't know if the public really likes that. The public appreciates something getting a fair hearing and understanding that there is a divergence of opinion, and you just don't do something because you can. And that's something that you have to contain yourself, I'm sure. And you know, we're all going to have to get along as well. It's kind of tough, but like when you have that many opinions and they're a little bit different, some people may want to go in one direction, some go in the other, and you have to herd them together and go in the right direction.